Body shaking exercises often get a bad rap because people on social media make them sound mystical, but they're actually very science-based and actually incredible for your workout, and they take minimal amount of time. The simple act of shaking out your body is something we can find in the animal kingdom whenever we get very stressed. So shaking exercises are a great way to downregulate that nervous system, so we reduce muscle guarding, we improve our mobility, we improve our focus and ability to work more efficiently and to move more efficiently. So I'm going to show you some simple ways that you don't have to take overly grand ideas of shaking, employ them into your workout as a great part of a warm-up, and they take anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute to do and can really help you just prime yourself to move more effectively and be prepared to what you want to do in your workout. Plus, they can be used at any part of the day, even at times that you're just feeling a little overly anxious, to just downregulate that nervous system in super simple ways. So shaking exercises are often used by athletes before a competition to get themselves into a more regulated state, because if you're overly anxious or unruly stimulated, generally you don't perform your best, and this is how we can apply them very simply. Now, a lot of people don't like doing shaking exercise because they feel like they're going to look stupid or silly, but they don't have to be big, grand movements to help. So if we have someone that we want to do this with, we want to calm down that nervous system, we want to get them start to focus a little more effectively, we can just do a couple simple things. One is we can just start just by shaking like this, where we're just bouncing in our body and just letting our wrists go limp and just allow the shaking to go very naturally. Not anything too crazy, right? Now, what we can do from there is we can also employ a little bit more movement. So we can actually do a little bit of a breath exercise along with it. So we can breathe in and then exhale hard. In, out, in, out, in, out. Now, eventually that can become a little bit more bouncy. So now my hands are a little bit down about my pelvis. Breathe in. So it's also a great way to build a little bit more reactivity in the body. So again, very simple ways we can do it. We can also do it just by simply going up, bring up our shoulders as we breathe in and then dropping them down hard. Breathe in, and then drop. Breathe in, and then drop. Breathe in, and then drop. So what we can do from there, once we feel like that's no problem, I can do that, no problem. We can do that with actually a little bit more extension to our body. So when we breathe in, we can come up to the balls of our feet, bring our shoulders up, and then just drop. Breathe in, and drop. Breathe in, and drop. So again, we're also teaching a little bit more ground force reactivity too, when we're just learning to land and absorb that force a little effectively. It's very low level, but it's something we're adding into what we're doing. So again, some very, very simple ways of doing some of these movements. Another one is we can take that breath that we worked on before and start extending it above our body. So now we can start that breathe in, breathe out, and then when we breathe out, we can come up to the balls of our feet. And then we can just drop. We can breathe in, go up to the balls of our feet, and just drop. Okay? That's a great way. It starts getting the heart rate up as well. It also primes us for another way we can do this. So again, these are all ways that, again, we help regulate the nervous system. A lot of times when people are very agitated, very stressed, things like that, they have a hard time sitting still, moving slow, being, all those things. So again, things like breathing exercises can be hard in isolation or even meditation because they're too agitated. So a lot of these movements are really helpful for a lot of that. So what we can add into that now is we're going to go ahead and bring our arms up as we breathe in, go up to the balls of our feet, and then we're just going to drop. Now we're going to do a little bit of a rocking. So upon my arms coming back up, I'm going to just come back up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And if you do that 15, 20 times, you get your heart rate up a bit. So you're starting to get your body warm as well. That's kind of like other kind of nice benefit to a lot of what we're doing with these exercises. Now, we're not spending a lot of time with them. If you're doing something like literally more shaking based, or maybe some of those quick breathing exercises, We can do it for time, 30 seconds to a minute, and then we move on. If we're doing some of those free-flowing exercises, maybe we do anywhere from 10 to 20 reps, and then we move on. We're not spending a whole workout doing these things. They're super simple, low time to do, and highly effective in just getting the body to feel better. So again, it helps you focus, but also a lot of times when people are very stressed, their pain sensitivity goes up, so we can tone down that nervous system, and generally people feel, those aches and pains feel a little bit better. It's not magic, it's just neuroscience in a very practical way. It doesn't change everything overnight, but it's a great tool to use. So the last series we're going to do is we're going to just talk about actual shaking. So we can start by just go ahead and just feeling soft in our body and just allowing the body to bounce. We can just do it in place, or like I was doing, we can make kind of a little bit of rotations through our body. So I'm just thinking about the bouncing through my feet, letting my hands and wrists go, letting my shoulders bounce up and down. And again, we do this for 30 seconds to a minute. Just do some natural breathing. Deep breath in and long, deep breath out. And then once we do that, we can add a little bit more movement. So I can have my arms come out a little bit more to my side where I'm shaking out my arms a bit more. As I'm doing the breathing, bring them as high as I want. I can bring them in front of my body. I can go ahead and rotate my body. I'm just keeping the bouncing going. Then I can go down towards my feet. And I can bring myself back up. Really getting that shake out. Now you can even start shaking the lower extremities a little bit more. So I can just go to one leg and just sort of shake it out like so. It's doing like a little kick out, right? And you go and be a little more rhythmic, you can just add a little bit of action on the upper body too. My point is, you see these movements online, and a lot of people get critical of them because they are overpromised and they are made to sound a little bit more than they are. But they're a great tool because we have so many people now that are coming with great stress and anxiousness, uncertainty, and again, to get their nervous system come down makes their ability to exercise more effective and their ability to make lifestyle choices become more positive, because if our nervous system is so dysregulated all the time, our reactions are not going to be ideal. We tend to end up participating in poor behaviors to immediately relieve some of the stress and anxiousness that we feel in our bodies. And these are very simple strategies. You can even just do it in the grocery store and just sort of like just sit there, bounce a little bit. Like I said, you can shake the wrists out. You can even do a very simple drill, which is you squeeze your fist really, really tight and let go. Squeeze, 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 and then just let go. Okay? You can even add it a little bit more movement. Squeeze, 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 let go. Squeeze, 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 let go. These are just simple strategies because helping people manage their well-being and mental health is a big part of actually getting them to exercise more consistently, being able to put more effort in their program, and make smarter choices in their everyday life.